AICTV guys, I have with me Kabir.
What's up,
Kabir,
Vipul?
the City versus Arsenal. Talk to me, man. What happened?
Yeah, well, I mean, it was a good game. It was very tactically sort of, I think, pinned down. It was just that the chance they got, they took. Um, Oba had a very good chance to get us level. Saka had a couple of good chances. But I think overall, yeah, I mean, not overly disappointed, but a, a hinge of disappointment. I think Arteta knows we could have got something from the game.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, we didn't.
So when the team sheet came up, I was surprised for us to play 4-2-3-1, which is basically 4-3-3 in position. And I was delighted that we are finally playing a back four. But last minute injury to Rob Holding
Yeah,
messed it all up. And since David Luiz was bought in, we had to play a back three.
yeah,
Yeah, so let's hope that next match we'll see a back four. And I do think that we played well in terms
yeah,
of defense, but there is something which I want to talk about later in this show about our overall gameplay. But let's move on with the player rating before
yeah.
that. Yeah, so we played with a 3-4-3 formation, and once again, our goalkeeper kept us in the game. Burn Leno, what do you give him?
Yeah, again, for me, I think he was a good, solid 7.5. I think actually, if you watch the replay for the goal, after the first save, he actually slipped. Like he made the save and then he ended up like he was trying to get back up and he slipped and then he realized there was no way he was going to get back up. Uh, Wet ground, sort of stud slipped. Any other day, I would have actually pinned Leno to make a double save there. I think he was disappointed you could make out with that. Again, I think a little bit better on his distribution is required. If you actually noticed, City's most potent attacks came from Edison's sort of distribution. Uh, when De Bruyne is not playing, Edison seems to be the one that finds the passes. So Leno's got to get better at that. He definitely has to get better at that. So I would give him a 7.5
All right. Yeah, I'll give
or a
him a
7. 7, sorry, yeah, 7.
yeah. We don't do points five and point five anymore,
Yeah,
so it's a seven as well. I do think you would have done better for the goal.
yeah.
Just by parrying it into the danger zone, it was a bit dangerous. So yeah, so seven for me. Let's move. Actually, we played with the back three, and in the center of those three was Gabriel.
Gabriel played well. I think again for me, couple more games. It's still you have to understand. Still his first season, first time playing in the Prem. Like speed of the play sometimes catches up to him. But again, I like his command in the center of defense. I like the fact that he's able to play the ball out. I do like all of that. But again, it was if you notice the one chance that Foden had that Leno saved came from Gabriel straight ball to Saka. Saka lost it, and
Yeah,
sort of.
yeah,
So again, I think just a little bit more time in the method of way Arteta wants to play, and he'll get a lot better. I mean, he had the biggest compliment. Tony Adams, Tony Adams said, we've got a player there. So for me,
yeah,
that says it all. So I would give him a 7.
yeah. Same for me. There was that misplaced pass with Saka. These small things you have to get it out of your game. For
Yeah,
example, we do teach it at the grassroots level. If the defender is on the left, you should pass it on the right of your player, since he can receive it on the half turn and move forward with the game.
yeah,
So these small things we need to get out of his game. And yeah, I do give him a seven. Let's move on to David Luiz. He was actually playing on the right of those three,
yeah,
and yeah, he played well. All in all, our defense played well.
yeah. I mean, think about it. Aguero didn't have a shot. I mean, for me, if you're going to keep, I know he's coming back from injury and all of that, but still, I mean, you're talking about David Luiz playing against him on any other given Sunday. Aguero's having a field day. So to be fair to the defense, they did well. They marshaled most of it. There were portions of the game where yes, City did get behind us. But I think it was a lot to do in transition. It wasn't when City was in possession of the ball. I think they were more potent when we just lost the ball and there was a bit of transition. And Arteta has
Yeah,
spoken about this, and he doesn't want
we'll
us to
come to
be.
yeah,
Yeah.
we'll come to that why that is happening.
Yeah, but
Uh,
I'd give Luis a 6 on 10. I think at the end, if you realized end of the game, it showed why Arteta played him on the right of the centre backs. That when he pushed forward and crossed that ball for Oba, I think it was 85th minute or something like that. Oba just couldn't get on top of Kyle Walker, but it was a fantastic ball. That's something that he can give us, and
yeah,
he's allowed to do that when he plays as the third, like the right centre back. So I'd give him a 6 on 10.
yeah, I'll give him a six as well. It would have been on the higher side if he would have get involved in the game more, but six for me. Yeah. So on the left hand side, Kieran Tierney.
I think KT again, he had a good game, but he is. I think again with him being in isolation for close to about 8 9 days, you could actually see the difference in fitness.
Yes.
I think a couple of times he did struggle, and I mean that's rather unfortunate because he needs again. He's one of those players who just needs to play week in week out, and you can progressively see him getting better. So I think that was a bit thing. So I would give him a 6 because I expect better of KT, to be honest.
Okay. I have a bit of sympathy for him since he wasn't able to play train with the squad. But to be honest, the first goal was his mistake. It came from his side. Even after doubling up on the player, we wouldn't
Yeah,
we
he
didn't.
should have closed down Mahrez a lot faster. Agreed.
Yeah, yeah,
Agreed.
yeah. We all know that Mahrez cuts on his left foot, but he should have been aware of it.
Yeah,
But yeah,
KT should
I'll
have
give
given
him
him
a
the
six
good
as
old
well.
Scottish hello. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll give him a six as well. Only why because he didn't train with the squad and his head was not in the game because a day before we were not sure whether he was going to play or not. So just imagine his mindset when he was sitting at home, knowing not knowing whether he's going to play or not. So for that, I'll give him a six. Let's move on to the midfield. Now, this is a thing which I wanted to discuss with you. Since we were overran in the midfield basically without Kevin De Bruyne, I am a bit scared for this since we were not gelling together in midfield. The link between the midfield and the attack was not happening. We felt like that the defense and the midfield are playing another game and the attack is playing another game. So this is a worry. So we'll start with Granit Xhaka.
See, I think again, if you notice the towards the end of the first half, that 10-minute spell where Arsenal really got a hold of the game, where Saka had his couple of attempts. Even in fact, Oba's chance came within that 10 minutes. The first one, which he wasn't offside, it hit Edison. I think Xhaka was behind that, but the problem is Xhaka is only behind that when he gets further up the field. The deeper we keep him, he then needs complete help from either side. And when you play inverted wingers, you lose that space. So for me,
Yeah,
Saka was coming in, and so was Willian, and that was rendering the entire thing useless because they were not able to quickly pass around. Because you have to understand, between Ceballos, Xhaka, they're not the quickest. They're not going to play a 1-2 and run around you, which
yeah,
City central midfielders could do. So you need Xhaka to get more time, maybe 40 yards away from the opposition D. And that's where he's very, very potent. Um so again, for me, I would give him a 6 because I expect better of Xhaka. In terms of understanding transition and being a little bit more defensive, I would give him a
I'll
6.
I'll give him a six as well, and I'll give Danny Sabas a six as well.
Yeah, I was
Since
not happy with Danny at all this game. I don't
yeah,
think he showed up. Yeah.
he didn't show up in this game, even though it wasn't a physical game, which he's not good at. Yeah, it was a bit of technicality, but still he wasn't able to maneuver his way through the
Yeah.
midfield and try to link up with the attack. So I'll give him a six as well.
Yeah, because we didn't see him run with the ball. Danny's always good that first 5, 6, 7 yards. He'll take the ball. This game he looked every minute he got the ball, he looked immediately to get the ball out of his feet and pass it. I mean, I'm just hoping it's a confidence thing, and Arteta gives it back to him, saying that listen, go with it, don't worry about it.
Yeah. Um, Now I move to the wing back. The best player and the worst player, according to me, were
Yeah.
on the wing. So I go to the left side, Saka.
Oh, I think he had a great game. I think Saka showed what he's capable of. Uh, I actually think Saka can play if you're going to play party TP in the team. You could play party Xhaka and Saka, or you could go party Sebas Saka, and you could use Saka as a 10 because he's actually quite capable of coming inside and doing the work as well. While he
Yeah,
was
this boy can play anywhere.
Yeah, he was really
In
good
the attacking.
outside. I would give him an 8 on 10. I think he was great in the game. I think he was unlucky not to score. Uh, Hopefully next game.
Yeah, same for me, 8 as well. If he would have scored, it would have been great, but unfortunately, it didn't happen. Now I move to Hector Bellerin. Now, last week in the preview show, I already told you कि I'm not seeing the best of Hector Bellerin. If there is some confidence issue, surely Arteta will try to manage him. But this is going on game after game after game. His performances are getting worse and worse. So,
Yeah,
what
no,
do you
and
say?
it was quite strange because if I'm not wrong, Cancelo started on that side. He's predominantly a right back that was playing on the left, all of that. And he did put pressure on us. I know Cancelo switched sides after some time. He played as a right wing back in front of Kyle Walker. But when he started the game, he was on the other side. And we should have put pressure because defensively, he's not great. And Hector just didn't do anything. Like, I mean, forget defensively. He didn't do anything offensively. I mean, his first job is being a good defender, and I don't think he was a good defender this game. Uh,
Yeah,
for, for me, I think he was a 4 on 10. Like, I mean, it was really, really poor for me. I mean, this is our without Mesut Ozil, our longest serving player. I mean, this is
yeah,
it's
yeah,
quite crazy to have someone who's so inbred in the system to understand. Like, I mean, you need to know that these are the games that you need to step it up. More than 100%. Every game you need 100%. These games you need a lot
yeah.
more. And Hector was way below par this game.
I'll give him a maybe a 3 out of 10 because he was very, very poor. So I don't know what's going on with him.
Yeah.
So there must be Maitland Niles must be knocking on Arteta's door and saying, "What have I done wrong?
Yeah.
Not play." And I do want to see Maitland Niles. To be frank, I have no agenda against Bellerin, but I need my team to play better in every position, in
Yeah.
every aspect. If you see the game, we had majority of the attacks on the left hand side. On the right hand side, nothing. So, which is why I feel for Nicola Pepe, and we all criticize him. He's not doing anything, but he's not getting any service at all. He's not receiving passes. He has to come deep to receive the pass and all. So that is what I meant by all the attacks coming on the left hand side, nothing on the right. So I'll move on to the next player, which is Nicola Pepe. Of course, for me, he had the best chance in the game with the
Yeah.
header.
Yeah. And the
And
free kick, I expect a lot better of Pepe
of course,
from that region. I mean, that's his bread and butter. Take it home, like, I mean, come
yeah.
on.
But apart from that, he had a clear goal scoring chance with his header.
Yeah.
So which is what he should have worked the goalkeeper at
In
least.
fact, two headers. Yeah, he had
Yeah,
two headers. Yeah.
yeah. So Nicolas Pepe gets a 5 for me. Only because I feel for him, since our right hand side is basically crap. We don't have any attacks, we don't have any creativity on the right hand side. Since we don't have a creative midfielder, nothing is going down the middle, but we have majority attacks on the left, but nothing on the right. So we have a very much imbalanced team, and Arteta needs to rectify it ASAP.
Yeah, for me also, I mean, I would give Pepe a 6 because I think there were flashes of what he could do. And I think he knows it more than ever that he's got to hit the ground running this season. He had the period to adjust in the beginning of last season when he came in and stuff like that, and that season's done. Now he knows the games. He understands the conditions. He knows the type of play that we want. I do expect a lot better of him. Like as I said, I think those two chances, at least one's got to go in. I mean, overall, if you
Yeah.
look at it, you've given him three chances on his left foot, two with his head. One of those
Those
three's
are
got to
two
go in.
things. Yeah, those are two things according to me. Nicola Pepe needs to add to his game. One is his finishing, and the second one is his final ball, final delivery.
Yeah.
If those two things are done, then
I
he.
was very surprised he didn't do the switch, that with the left on the right hand side when he switches back to the left and he curls it to the
Yes.
back post. Not once did we do it. I mean, this is Ruben Diaz is what, third game in a City jersey?
Yeah.
Yeah, so for me, I mean, Pepe, we didn't see any of those, those in-swinging balls from the right where he cuts back on his left and swings it in. It was
Yeah.
Ruben Diaz's third game, I think, in a City jersey in the Premier League. Put him under some pressure, man. Swings him in. Let's see what he
Yeah.
does. He's like a young centre back playing, and that too, Walker was playing right centre back. Not the greatest partner to have. Put some pressure,
Yeah.
man. Put some pressure. And I was really surprised that we didn't put him under more pressure. Like Oba floated. It was so strange. We played Willian through the center, Oba on the left.
Oh, that tactic I didn't get. Apparently, Willian was playing as a number nine. Let's move on to Willian.
Yeah.
And he didn't have a great game.
Yeah. I mean, like for me,
Seriously.
again, the thing is, I think, uh, listen, I mean, he is a great player, and there's no doubt about it. He's got the quality. But I think if we want a system, especially with the way Arteta wants to move it, and where I think Arteta missed the trick was, again, pressure on the new centre back. Put
Yeah.
Aubameyang against him, man. You're talking about the Premier League's top goal scorer against him. Put Willian with his
Yeah.
guile against Kyle Walker. He doesn't have to beat Kyle Walker speed to speed. Well, I don't understand. We try to match speed for speed, and we try to put Willian to outsmart Ruben Diaz. For me, put Oba against Ruben Diaz. He gives Oba 2 yards
Yeah.
directly there because he's worried what's going to happen.
Yeah. If
And
you see the team sheet
yeah,
before the match, we
yeah,
were actually going for a 4-3-3
yeah,
with Pican on the left, Pepe on the right, and
yeah,
Oba down. I would have loved to see that. I think
yeah,
Arteta realized the same thing what we are talking, and he went with the back four and front three of Willian, Pepe, and
yeah,
Oba. But unfortunately, due to the injury, it didn't happen.
yeah,
Uh, and after that, I think Arteta missed a trick. He still played Willian in the number nine. He should
yeah,
have played Oba in that position and Willian on the left.
yeah.
It would have been a different dimension to the game, and Saka and Willian combining would have been
Yeah,
devastating.
because then
I don't
Saka gets
care.
to do the overlap. Here,
Yeah, I don't
we have,
care if our attacks are 90% on the left. I don't care,
yeah,
but it would have been effective on the left,
agreed.
and we would have tried. At least we would have scored. So
Yeah,
we would
because
have
think
done
about it.
something.
We had our most potent players, all three. That's Kieran Tierney, Saka, and Aubameyang, all on one side.
Yeah, yeah,
So City had nothing to do. They just blocked off that side and said, okay,
yeah.
go ahead. We'll see what happens.
They actually doubled up on Aubameyang with
Yeah,
Cancelo and Kyle Walker
yeah,
on that side. So it was very apparent, and it was too late for Arteta to realize that he had made a mistake. But
yeah.
he is new and he needs to learn. And I
Of
think
course, it's all part of
Pep
the
pulled
process.
something. I think Pep pulled something out of the box, which Arteta was a bit
Yeah, with
surprised.
with the type of
And
formation and the way he played it, yeah, of
yeah,
course.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So it was a great battle tactically. But yeah, for coming back to the player, Willian, I give him a three. He didn't play that
Yeah,
great.
for me, I
Actually, I'll give
agree
him
with you.
low. I'll give him lower than Bellerin. Is what like a two?
Yeah,
Yeah, 2 out of 10 for me.
yeah. For me,
Now
I
let's
would give him
move
a three. Yeah,
three. Okay. Now let's move on to our captain, and he too didn't have a great game. There were instances when he was receiving the ball on the touchline, which is very very bad. This shouldn't happen. He should be on the shoulder of the player. a large defender, whatever it is. But he shouldn't come short and receive the ball on the touchline. That's a very poor sight to
So,
see.
so for me, the thing is, it works one or two ways, Ripple. So Oba doesn't mind that. He doesn't mind coming in from the left onto the right as long as he has someone who overlaps, gives him a bit of space on that. The other thing for me is that I think this game showed, while there were flashes that Oba, could be out of the game for 80 minutes and then, in
Yeah,
5 minutes turn a game. Very good. But for me, it kind of showed that the midfield really needs to do a lot more to service the guy. Xhaka found him, I think, just once with a great ball, which Walker then ended up coming and sliding and pushing it out for a corner. But
yeah.
that's the kind of movement that we need. That's the kind of play that
That
we need. That's the
that should
service.
that should happen more times
More
in a
regular
game.
basis, yeah, yeah, yeah.
And
I would give Oba a 6. I think
yeah,
it
same,
was an okay
same.
game from his.
The thing is, the difference if of him being in the game and suddenly doing something to score or do something is getting larger and larger. Why I tell you? Because the midfield is not helping him. The thing is, if let me tell you one instance. If Aubameyang comes short to receive the ball and he passes it to somebody in the midfield, and then instantly he tries to make a run. If your midfield is not able to find him, then that piece of play is a waste of time,
Yeah,
basically. I know sometimes you make decoy run for the third player to receive the ball, all right, but even that is not happening. So that is a problem in our game right now. Creativity is missing, and I'm sure Arteta will try to rectify it. And let's hope. Now, I think our next game is Leicester.
yeah. We actually have a Europa game on Thursday, so it'll be good to
That's
see
fine.
the
I
kids
hope,
play. Yeah,
yeah. Yeah, let's see. I want Partey to start against Leicester. I
yeah.
want to see him since Leicester is a counter-attacking side. We need him, and we could see what Leicester did to Man City, and we don't want that to happen again
Yeah,
against us. So let's see what happens. All
yeah,
right. So lastly, we had subs, but we'll give them standard 5-4-5.
yeah,
uh, I have to mention Partey since he got like what 8 to 9 minutes on the
yeah.
pitch. He should have got more to influence the game. Once he came on, he was always playing catch up. I mean, he got a yellow card as well.
Yeah, but the
So
interesting thing is, Ripple City had 4 players on yellow cards. We had just one, which is Partey. And
that's
the thing is, Partey is, you could understand when Partey made that foul, the yellow card. But if you actually look at the timing and the moves that the City players made, their fouls and got their yellow cards. Again, I mean, this is something that Arteta knows. I mean, this is famous for Pep's beautiful game. He has something known as the dark arts.
yeah,
And this
yeah.
is all
That's
part and parcel of that. And I think that's another trick that we need to pick up a little bit more.
uh,
Like break a few moves down, put a tackle in there. Take the yellow card. Tenny can be very good after that, but give him one or two. I mean, every other team did it. Leicester did it very very well when they did
yeah.
it. They really
All
got
right.
it to them. So yeah,
Yeah. So let's move on to the manager.
yeah.
What do you?
I think Arteta missed a trick in this game. I think he was a little. I wouldn't say the occasion got to him because I think he beat him in the FA Cup and he sort of had an understanding of what he wanted to do, and I think that's why Pep played a very different system to that game. If you notice, they completely nullified Oba to almost non-existent in the
Yeah.
game, and that's something that I think. Arteta, not that he wasn't expecting, but I think he expected City to push their type of football a lot more. But I think Pep went to the way of let me stop Arsenal and then we can do what we need to do.
Yeah,
Uh,
it was Pep played a bit safe. For the first 20-25 minutes, both teams were assessing each other,
yeah,
and later on, City were dominant, and then we were dominant. But in the second half, nothing happened, basically.
yeah, yeah,
All right, so we do have a Europa League game in the
yeah,
midweek. We'll have a preview for that as well. And if Partey starts in that game, he should actually and play. for about 40, 45 minutes, whatever first half, and then we can sub him, and then he'll be ready for Leicester. So let's hope to see
I
him.
think he's
And
match fit. I don't think it's about his match fitness. I think he's match fit because he
yes,
played for Atletico. I think it's just for him to get used to the system.
yeah,
So
that's why I'm saying he
yeah,
should play.
depending on the team that Arteta wants to play in Europa, because if he's not going to play a similar team to the
Yeah,
game against Leicester, there's no point playing Partey in that game.
yeah.
You must have to
Another
keep the
player I am
youngsters.
looking forward to see in that match is Alex Rennerson,
Yeah,
number two. Hopefully, will be able to see what he's all about,
yeah,
and because we don't see what happens in the training, how hard he's pushing Leno, since Leno is playing well, but he needs
yeah.
to push as well. So we'll be able to
That'd be
see how.
great. It'd be great to see. We get to see Willock. We'll get to see Reece Nelson. You know, these kind of
Yeah,
players are pushing the starting 11 guys. So it'd be great to see. Emil Smith Rowe should be back, so that should be exciting and fun for all of us. So, yeah.
all right. Kabir, it was a very disappointing result, but there are some positives we can take for the game.
Yeah, it's a
Uh,
process. Let's believe in the
yeah,
process.
let's
Let's,
move on. Apparently, everybody dropped points
yeah,
during the weekend, and we are still fifth with nine
yeah,
points on the board after five matches.
yeah.
So, yeah, Everton is on top, which is crazy. All right.
I
So,
think isn't Aston now. I think Aston Villa made it on top after their victory. They won one
yeah,
zero. Yeah,
yeah.
it's
After
great.
yesterday, last night's game,
Four W's, huh?
Emi Martinez with three clean sheets.
Yeah, fun times. But
Uh,
anyway,
yeah, all right. So thank you once again, Kabir, for coming on to
cheers,
the show.
cheers, cheers. Yeah.
Uh, See you again for the preview show
Oh
in the
yeah.
Europa.
Cheers. Have a good one.
Bye.